Now, my name is Randy Hall, and I'm with Fourth Gear Consulting. And it was really an honor and a privilege this morning to talk to the CE group. I think sometimes I learn as much from these folks as they do from me. But I spent a couple hours with them this morning, and we focused on 3 or 4 key things, really, as they think about how they lead their business going into this next year and how they lead it differently. We talked a lot about them figuring out what they really wanted from their business, how they wanted to spend their time, the things that were most important to them. You know, we discussed a lot about success and that you can't just have financial success. You've also got to be having some fun and enjoy what you're doing in life. Otherwise, the financial success isn't going to last for you anyway. You'll either quit or fail if you can't do both. So a lot of our conversation today was about how do we make sure we're doing both of those things. One of the things that they spent some time working on was just writing down what they want. I don't care if it's a house at the beach, more time with the kids, doesn't matter. You know, you've got to sort of center how you build your business on what those things are. Part of it is that you're willing to do the hard work of getting your business to a place where it can give you those things, if you know where that place is, and if it's something that's so important to you that you're willing to do a lot of administrative work. You're willing to be the CEO, the CFO, the HR person, the marketing person, all of those things wrapped into one, which you have to if you're an entrepreneur. So we spent some time helping them sort of define that. Then we started to talk about how they needed to think differently in order to help their business get there. One of the concepts we discussed was if you're on a board of directors and a business, you want it to go in a different direction, oftentimes you change out the CEO. But you usually don't get significantly different skills or experience or that thing. All of these people have run businesses before. You get a different perspective. And really, that's what a lot of the franchisees, I think, were thinking about. How do I create a different perspective for myself going forward? As a leader, how do I think differently? How do I change my own sort of CEO for my business just by changing the way that I think and the perspective I have? Some of the examples we were using were, boy, I don't like sales. And if you think about it as sales and something that's scary and hard and can make you feel bad some days, and you shift that a little bit to, my job's not to sell. My job's just to build relationships with more people and figure out how I can help them. It makes a lot of those things go away because now there's not the fear of rejection. I just want to get to know them and understand them more and build a relationship. You know, with this economy, a lot of the challenges people are facing, they're careful with who they spend their money with. They spend it with people they trust. They spend it with people that they have a relationship with. And if we've got franchisees that are working every day to build those relationships, they end up getting the business down the road. So we talked a lot about the fact that you can't really change your behavior unless you change how you think. To some degree. So we worked on that. We broke out and we talked a little bit about what are some of the perspectives that we have right now as a business owner that are holding us back, and what are some of the ones we need to develop for ourselves in order to move forward. So I like to tell a lot of stories to the groups. Sometimes it helps sort of bring the point home. And one of the stories that we talked about, it's kind of fitting since we're here in Houston, was about Jim Lovell and how he, on the crew of Apollo 13, the way they got back home to see their kids again, to see their family again, was really to begin to focus immediately on the things they could control inside that ship. And sometimes that's what we have to do in our business too. There's a lot of circumstances out there that are getting in our way. But if we really focus on the things that we control, develop the right perspective for us to move forward and know what we want, so that we've got sort of that anchor out there that we can move toward on a daily basis that's important to us, we run our business better. It achieves our goals, and we get to those things that we ultimately started the business for in the first place. So it was a great conversation, and I really enjoyed my time with these folks this morning.